Chris Berger Dallas has built a reputation grounded in precision, reliability, and a deep respect for the craft of jewelry. As an entrepreneur working across vintage sourcing, appraisal, and material refinement, he approaches his work with a level of attention to detail that extends far beyond what most clients ever see. That discipline, combined with a consistent focus on long-term relationships, has shaped a professional identity centered on trust. In a market where value can hinge on the smallest distinctions, Chris Berger Dallas has positioned himself as a careful evaluator and a steady presence for clients navigating complex decisions about their jewelry. Craftsmanship, in its simplest form, comes down to care. For Chris Berger Dallas, it is defined by the attention given to details that often go unnoticed at first glance but ultimately determine the quality and integrity of a piece. Over time, his understanding of craftsmanship has shifted from a broader appreciation of design to a much more granular focus on execution. Even the smallest refinements, those that may only be visible under magnification, can influence how a piece presents itself to the human eye. That evolution has not come without its challenges. Early in his career, Berger recognized that even minor inconsistencies at a microscopic level could affect the final outcome. This realization required a shift in mindset, particularly in adopting a more structured and disciplined approach to his work. Precision became non-negotiable. Materials, finishes, and structural elements all demanded equal attention. Today, that philosophy informs every stage of his process. Whether evaluating an antique piece or working with raw materials, the expectation remains the same. Craftsmanship is not defined by what is visible alone, but by the cumulative impact of countless small decisions made with intention. It is this consistency that separates functional work from exceptional work, and it is a standard Berger continues to refine. Sourcing in the jewelry industry often appears to be driven by access, but Chris Berger Dallas views it as a combination of persistence, relationships, and genuine enthusiasm. While there is an element of unpredictability involved, he emphasizes that consistent exposure and volume play a significant role. The more connections he maintains and the more interactions he has with clients and collectors, the more opportunities emerge. A key factor in his approach is reputation. By providing thoughtful evaluations and maintaining transparent communication, Berger has positioned himself as someone clients are willing to contact when they encounter something unusual or valuable. That trust creates a pipeline of opportunities that cannot be replicated through transactional relationships alone. In a market where competition is constant and margins can be tight, this combination of discipline and enthusiasm allows Berger to remain adaptable. Rather than chasing trends, he focuses on maintaining a steady presence and being prepared when the right opportunities arise. One of the most persistent misconceptions is the assumption that age alone determines value. Chris Berger Dallas frequently encounters pieces that are decades or even centuries old but hold little premium beyond their material content. While historical significance can enhance value, it is not guaranteed. Design, condition, craftsmanship, and market demand all play critical roles. Another area of misunderstanding involves gemstones. Many clients assume that older pieces automatically contain rare or highly valuable stones. In reality, synthetic gemstone production dates back more than a century. As a result, some antique jewelry includes lab-created stones that may not carry the same value as their natural counterparts. Identifying these distinctions requires both experience and technical analysis. Berger approaches these conversations with clarity rather than assumption. He begins by establishing a baseline value based on metal content and weight. From there, he evaluates stylistic elements, manufacturing techniques, and any identifying marks that can indicate origin or maker. The final step involves assessing gemstones and any additional features that may contribute to overall value. For Chris Berger Dallas, balancing creativity with operational demands remains an ongoing challenge. His entry into the field was rooted in a hands-on appreciation for making and designing jewelry. Over time, however, the realities of running a business have shifted his focus toward sourcing, evaluating, and managing inventory. This transition has required a recalibration of priorities. While the creative aspect remains important, it now exists alongside a range of responsibilities that include logistics, client communication, and financial management. Berger acknowledges that this balance is not always perfect. There are periods when the artistic side takes a back seat to operational needs. Interestingly, This shift has also deepened his appreciation for craftsmanship. Limited time spent on design work has made those moments more intentional. Instead of viewing creativity as a constant output, he approaches it as a focused exercise that complements his broader work. Maintaining this balance requires structure. Separating workspaces and dedicating time to specific tasks helps create boundaries between creative and operational activities. This approach allows Berger to remain effective as a business owner while still engaging with the artistic elements that initially drew him to the field. Trust in the jewelry industry is often earned through actions rather than claims. Chris Berger Dallas emphasizes that transparency plays a central role in building and maintaining that trust. One of his core practices is encouraging clients to seek additional opinions, even when it may not directly benefit him. This approach signals confidence in his assessments and reinforces his commitment to fairness. He also places a strong emphasis on education. By sharing insights about a piece's history, construction, or origin, Berger provides clients with context that extends beyond monetary value. This information helps clients make informed decisions and fosters a sense of collaboration rather than transaction. Another important aspect is consistency. Trust is not established through a single interaction but through repeated experiences. By maintaining the same standards across all client engagements, Berger creates a predictable and reliable process. In some cases, this means advising clients against selling an item, particularly when it holds personal or historical significance. While this may not result in an immediate transaction, it reinforces the idea that his recommendations are aligned with the client's best interests. Over time, these practices contribute to a reputation that extends beyond individual transactions. Trust becomes not just a component of the business, but its foundation. Operating in a large and competitive market like Dallas requires a structured approach. Chris Berger Dallas has developed systems that help him manage both the scale and pace of his work. One of the most important is strategic planning for sourcing activities. By organizing routes and prioritizing opportunities based on historical data, he maximizes efficiency and minimizes wasted time. Workspace organization also plays a critical role. Maintaining separate areas for evaluation, storage, and creative work allows Berger to transition between tasks without losing focus. This compartmentalization is particularly valuable during periods of high activity, when the volume of items can become overwhelming. Consistency is further supported by routine. Establishing predictable workflows helps reduce decision fatigue and ensures that each step of the process is completed thoroughly. Even in the face of unexpected challenges, these systems provide a framework that keeps operations stable. Berger acknowledges that maintaining this level of organization requires ongoing effort. However, the benefits are clear. By creating structure around key aspects of his work, he is able to remain focused and responsive, even in a dynamic environment. The professional trajectory of Chris Berger Dallas reflects a commitment to precision, transparency, and steady growth. His approach to craftsmanship extends beyond technical skill, encompassing the discipline and consistency required to deliver reliable results. At the same time, his emphasis on client relationships underscores the importance of trust in an industry defined by authenticity and value. By combining detailed evaluation methods with a clear and measured approach to business, Berger has developed a model that prioritizes long-term credibility over short-term gain. In doing so, he continues to reinforce a reputation built not on visibility alone, but on the quality and integrity of his work.